The House of Representative Committee, wey dey handle petroleum matters, don dismiss petition wey dey ask make dem suspend the boards of Naija Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) and Naija Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC). Dis decision come after dem hold one serious meeting wey touch many important matters. One of the main matter wey the committee tok say dem go investigate well na the condition of Naija refineries wey people dey tok say dem wan sell, especially as government don spend money for turnaround main ten ance. The committee chairman, Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, come announce say dem don set up 10 subcommittees to look into the wahala, like the talk wey dey go round say Dangote refinery wan take over how petroleum dey waka and how dem dey sell am, petitions from people wey dey run small modular refinery say dem no get enough crude oil, how to make small refineries strong and last on top the change for the Petroleum Industry Act to give NMDPRA more power and make downstream sector strong.
The committee also decided to dismiss the petition calling for dissolution of the NMDPRA and the regulatory body. And this is born out of the fact that we are framers of the PIA. We made those provisions. We created Section 14 sub C that talks about tenure of job. It is at the mercy of the president at the end of tenure. If he does not want to reappoint anybody, the president exercises that right and power not to reappoint the person. But we cannot go to what we used to have during the DPR era, where there was, leadership instability, policy inconsistency. Before pre-PIA, the investment you have today in the downstream sector, both the upstream and the downstream sector, which is in the neighborhood of over $20 billion now. You never had the choice. There was nobody that was coming to invest when there used to be DPR and so on. So it was a trading market then. But today, you can see the gas infrastructure. People have taken gas distribution license, they are building infrastructure. Modular refineries, almost about 8 or 9 now running. Petrochemical plants are now running. Big refineries are now running. More petrol-related infrastructures is springing left, right, and center because the market is very clear. The policy is very clear. The process is very transparent. That is one of the key things the last administration and the present administration has also sustained to keep that clarity in the petroleum industry. So going by that, we cannot go after 20 years or thereabout of fighting to make the PIA, then we'll now return it back to whereby if there's any change of regime, somebody comes and says, sack everybody. When you start sacking people left, right, and center, policy starts to change. But if anybody is found wanting or haven't committed any offense, we are not defending the person. The relevant security agencies should be able to handle that particular issue. So it's on that ground that the committee dismissed the petition calling for the removal of the NMDPRA boss, Omar Farouk, and Komala Feden UPRC, saying that we must stick to tenure as provided by the PIA, and if anybody has offended the law, that should be dealt separately with the relevant security agencies. But stability of tenure and stability of policy and stability of process in the petroleum sector must be guided jealously so that we don't go back to the era of the pre-PIA.
The committee yarn say dem go look into the matter wey concern why we still dey import fuel, wetin labour unions dey complain say monopoly fit happen, the wahala wey follow OVH acquisition, and the things wey NNPC retail don raise. Honorable Ugochinyere come talk say the committee dey committed to transparency and industry reform and come promise say all the matter wey reach dem table go get better investigation.
Those concerns that have been raised by importers of petroleum products on sustainability of their business, and those concerns that have been raised by refinery owners that we cannot invest billions and then you are importing finished product which will run us out of business, which is also a very legitimate concern. And that of the retailers and also the transporters. The committee dealt extensively this morning on them and said there must be a win-win. But the greatest win will be national interest. How do we ensure energy stability? How do we ensure attraction of foreign investment? Because you cannot be looking for investors, which is increasing today in downstream. Multiple investment is coming both in gas infrastructure, both in petroleum refinery, both in petrochemical plant. And then if those investors feel that the market is not secured or guaranteed for them, they will not put those investment. And then we're going to go back to what we used to have before. But at the same time, we have people working with these marketers. We have our people who have jobs there. We have our infrastructure that have built. How do we draw a synergy to put everybody in a sustainable value chain that will see a win-win? There will be no job loss. Refineries will continue to operate and have their market, and then the marketers will be able to transit to a system to understand that the country cannot continue to import. The country cannot continue to import. There must be a sustainable solutions to these concerns. But nobody is going to take it all or have it all. And that is why the committee is drawing the first legal framework, the legislative framework and suggestion which will be presented to the larger house to find a sustainable solution to this crisis so that key stakeholders in the downstream sector can have return on their investment and the nation will be the big winner.
Make una no forget say as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We no dey take blame. Ohifemi Onosimo, TMC News.